Start with chapter 1. We have done with our chapter 5 of BCK and also chapter 4 of. Now, my chapter 1 and chapter 2 speaks about your business and business. Sir, whatever you people have studied in your business studies, first PUC and second PUC, 11th and 12th, same to same, little advanced concept. That's it. Now, sir, let me compare with your economics and BCK little so that we have some differences between these two subjects itself. Sir, in economics, we studied about human wants. Acceptable. Sir, human wants are unlimited. Sir, we have limited resources. Acceptable. Sir, these limited resources can be put into multiple uses. Sir, these were the three basic problems. Human wants are unlimited. Whatever resources we have got, that is limited. These limited resources have got a multiple usages. When these three problem arises, we used to solve it through choice making. Cardinal approach, ordinal approach. Acceptable. Now, the same concept in BCK is taught in little different way. Sir, what is that little different way? Sir, human wants have unlimited. In order to satisfy human wants, we need to consume goods and services. We need to consume. In order to get utility, in order to get. Sir, what do you mean by utility? Want a satisfying capacity of a commodity. Sir, you tell me now, whenever you need to get utility, you need to consume goods and services. Are these goods and services available for free of cost? Sir, one has to pay for the same. Acceptable. Sir, if at all I want to pay and purchase a goods and services, I need to go and work and I need to generate income. Acceptable. So, we need to work in order to earn income. Sir, which type of a work do we do? Sir, is it economic activity or a non-economic activity? Economic activity. Now comes the beautiful difference. Sir, what do you mean by economic activity and what do you mean by non-economic activity? Can anyone tell me in the class? Sir, economic activity are those which generates income. Okay. Non-economic activity. Sir, anything which is done out of love and affection is called as a non-economic activity. Does it generate income? It does not generate income. Superb. Listen, sir, what you people said was correct. Let me add even more few points to that. Sir, all those activity which generates money or money's worth in return. Sir, I'm using two technical terms here. All those activity which generate money or money's worth. Money or in return. That last word in return is important here. Sir, when I'm conducting any activity, my very basic intention is to get any money or money's worth in return. Let me take one example. Now, assuming Mr. Bharat has supplied raw materials to the Shashikiran sir's dash company, furniture manufacturing company. Now he has supplied me raw material wood, sir. Now I am supposed to pay some 1 lakh rupees to Bharat. Now I will say for Bharat, see Bharat, I don't have 1 lakh rupees to pay for you. Instead of that, I will give you 1000 shares of my company, which is 100 rupees each, which is, sir, it is money's worth. Acceptable. Sir, instead of giving him 1 lakh rupee, I am giving him 1 lakh rupees worth of 1000 shares. That is 100 rupee face value each. Now, I will say to Bharat, see Bharat, I don't have 1 lakh rupee. Instead, I will give you some 100 shares. Today, 100 rupees is the value. In future, it will become 1000 rupees per share. That time, you will get 1 lakh rupee. Will he accept? Remember, money and money's worth. Money and should be equivalent. Should be. Sir, I am working in order to generate money, sir. If not money, at least money's worth. This money and money's worth should be equivalent in value. Equivalent in. And moreover, how do I generate wealth, sir? By working. In return for my skill, in return for my work, in return for my labor, I am going to receive money. Acceptable. Remember, without working, if at all you receive any income, this is called as transfer payments. This is called as compensation by government, pensions, scholarships. Sir, these are called as transfer payments. These are called as. Kindly do remember this. It won't come in your foundation, but again it will be in your inter. So, sir, all those transfer payments is not considered as a economic activity. What is economic activity? In return, sir, I am conducting some activity. I am working over there. In return to my work, I am receiving money or money is worth. Sir, this is called as economic activity. Now comes a question, sir. Okay, we understood economic activity. Sir, what is non-economic activity, sir? Sir, all those activity which is done out of love, hobby, affection, patriotism is called as non-economic activity without expecting money or money's worth in return. Without expecting worth in return. That is important, sir. I am conducting that activity out of love, out of affection, out of hobby, out of patriotism. I was not expecting anything in return. Those are called as non-economic activity. Now you people tell me, in order to generate income, in order to receive income, which kind of activity should you indulge yourself? Sir, in economic activity, sir, only and only if I indulge myself in economic activity, I receive income. If I receive income, sir, I can purchase those goods and services which will satisfy my wants. Now, sir, my income is also limited, acceptable. I don't have an unlimited income. And remember, my income represents purchasing capacity. Income represents. Sir, I have got 100 rupee. I am giving this example like more than 10 times now. Sir, tomato price is 20 rupees, sir. How many kgs of tomato can I purchase? Sir, suppose with the same 100 rupee, next day tomato price is 25 rupee. How many kgs of tomato? 4 kg. Sir, my income is going to represent a purchasing capacity. Income is going to represent purchasing capacity. So remember, sir, human wants are, in order to satisfy that unlimited wants, we need to consume. By consuming goods and services, what do you get? Sir, how exactly can you purchase goods and services? Only by paying an income or only by paying a money or a consideration acceptable. Sir, in order to get that money, what you need to do? Work. Sir, which type of activity will you indulge? Economic or non-economic? In short, sir, if I indulge myself in economic activity, I will get money or money's worth in return. With this money or money's worth in return, I will purchase goods and services which is going to satisfy my human wants. I know that my wants are unlimited. I know that all wants cannot be satisfied. But within the limited resources, I will try to satisfy as many wants as possible. Acceptable. This is the key feature for every business. Every business person knows this very well. My persons or my customers' incomes are limited. Within that limited income, they will try to satisfy as many wants as possible. So every business person, whenever he is fixing a price for a commodity, whenever he is coming out with any new product, he will always consider the ability of a customer to purchase. Ability of a customer to. Now, remember this statement. This is the most important one. Sir, the process of creation of income and savings, process of creation of and savings is dependent on business and commerce, is dependent on. Sir, what does it mean? Either if I want to generate income or either if I want to save income, that is dependent on dash and dash. And commerce. Sir, how? Can anyone tell me what do you mean by business and what do you mean by commerce? What do you mean by business and what do you mean by? Business is manufacturing. Okay. So-called commerce students. For you people only, I am asking what do you mean by commerce? All auxiliaries to trade is called as commerce. Superb. Listen. Sir, what does it mean by business? There is one beautiful definition in your PUC. Sir, state of being busy is called as business. Acceptable. That is what is given in your Karnataka state syllabus material. Sir, state of being busy is called as a business. And there is one more important meaning. Listen to me carefully. Sir, production or purchase of goods and services. Production or with the intention to sell, with the intention to and make profits and make. Let me repeat it once again. Listen to this carefully. Production or purchase of goods and services with the intention to sell and make profits is called as business. Acceptable. What do you mean by trade? Buying and selling of goods and services is called as trade. Sir, what do you mean by commerce? Sir, all the allied activities of business and trade. All allied activities of. That is nothing but all ancillary activities of business and trade. Sir, best example, banking, insurance, transportation, warehousing. Sir, these are called as ancillaries to trade. Now, if I'm producing any commodity from my godown to the marketplace, I need to transport, sir. I'm using this transportation. I'm also using the banking facilities, sir, to deposit money, withdraw money. Sir, I'm also using some finance facilities, sir. Sir, I'm also using godown facility, that is warehousing facilities, sir. I'm also taking insurance, sir. Sir, these are also helping to conduct your business. Acceptable? These are called as ancillaries. These ancillaries are called as commerce. Ancillaries are called as. So now we understood what do you mean by business, what do you mean by trade, and what do you mean by commerce. Sir, business is a state of being busy or production or purchase of a goods and services with an intention to sell and make a profit. That is business, sir. What do you mean by trade, sir? Buying and selling of goods and services. The process of buying and selling of goods and services is called as trade. Sir, what do you mean by commerce? All allied activities of business and trade is called as commerce. Now, sir, be it income generation. If I want to generate income, it is dependent on business or it is dependent on commerce. If I want to even create savings, that is also dependent on business and it is also dependent on. Sir, only if we conduct a business, I can make a money. Only if I earn income, that is make a money, out of it I can save something. Acceptable? Sir, either to create an income or either to create a savings, business and commerce, both are required. Sir, either this business and commerce can be in a production activity or might be in a distribution activity that relates to commerce, in exchange activity related to commerce, or consumption activity. Sir, even might be the raw materials, even might be the semi-finished goods in order to convert them into a finished good, or might be my end customers who is purchasing and giving me a money, that is an income for me. Acceptable? So this business and commerce can be included with production, consumption, distribution and exchange. Remember, income is spent on. It is also called as dash. I've explained this in economics. Consumption expenditure. Consumption. Sir, my household gets a income, sir. Out of that income, they will spend on purchasing those goods and services which is satisfying their. Sir, that is whatever income you people receive, out of that you are going to spend on purchasing goods and will you spend it completely? At least a smaller portion is created as a. That is what, sir, income is spent on purchasing goods and services and some part of your income is also. Did you people understood? Superb. Now let me go further. Sir, the next heading is domain of BCK. Suppose if at all you're opening your institute material and seeing this domain of BCK, they have given all superstitious Tare Zameen Par will come to your mind. Sir, nothing you will understand. They have given many other elements, many other example, war strategies. Sir, what is this business? What are the different kinds of business? How variety activities they will be conducting? Some superstitious level they have given in your material. So don't get confused with your institute material. If at all you are finding it difficult to prepare from your institute material, Marogoli, study from Advait material. Simple. See here. Sir, what do you mean by domain? Domain refers to specific sphere of knowledge. Specific sphere of. Suppose, are there any computer science students in the class? So-called computer science students of PUC. What do you mean by domain? Sir, domain means a specific sphere of knowledge. Best example, Google. Have you heard of Google? Google uncle and Yahoo auntie. Yeah, Google uncle and Yahoo auntie and Wikipedia tata. Wikipedia grandpa. These people are called as domain. That is, they have a vast knowledge. They have a vast. Or we can also call it as area or a territory owned or controlled by a. Sir, even it is similar to my business, sir. Even my business is a vast area, sir. It is a territory, sir, which is controlled by a particular. Acceptable? The very first point of business as a domain is very. What is the meaning of business? Sir, business is state of being. Production or purchase of goods and services with the purpose of selling and making. Sir, my business activity can be either manufacturing or either trading or either transportation or either warehousing or either banking or either advertisement and etc. What do you mean by etc.? Does anyone know the meaning of etc.? End of thinking capacity. That is the real meaning of etc. End of thinking capacity. Sir, now my business can be either a manufacturing, trading, transportation, warehousing, banking or advertisement. Sir, these are the various vast business activities that I am going to conduct, and sir, I can conduct this business either in a wholesale or either in a, sir, either I can conduct it in a local business or national business or international business, or sir, I might conduct my business through door-to-door sales or street vendors or bazaars in malls through onlines, e-markets, etc. Acceptable. Now let me go back to your economics. What do you mean by market? Chapter 4, Unit 1. Superb. It is an arrangement or a situation wherein buyers and sellers contact in order to exchange goods and services. Sir, market need not be a specific place. It can even be a virtual place. Acceptable. Superb. Now sir, the very first point is business is very vast. Now sir, point number 2. My business is elective or derived from other subjects. Sir, somewhere we have heard about this derived from other subjects, sir, in economics also. Where, sir? Business cycle, chapter 5. Sir, my business is dependent on the environment. And this business environment, if it changes, it is affecting on different chain of operations. Acceptable? Unlike the same, when you are conducting business, you are not independent, you are dependent. You are, sir, my business is going to borrow many strategies, many concepts from accounts, finance, law, economics, ethics, history, marketing and etc. End of thinking capacity. Sir, see here. Business commercial knowledge is interdependent. Business commercial knowledge is, and it borrows several concepts and strategies from. Sir, in order to conduct business, I should also have a knowledge of accounts. Acceptable. If not you as a owner, if you don't have a knowledge, at least you will employ some person to take care about accounts. Acceptable. You should know how to balance with your money, whatever you have got. Financial management. Acceptable. You should also know what is the law of the land where you are operating and what is the economic conditions of a nation. You should follow ethics. You should also know some history about that business, and you should also know very well-versed marketing systems. Acceptable. So, my business is not independent. Business is dependent. Business is dependent. That is called as elective or derived from other subjects. Sir, point number 1, it is very vast. Point number 2, my business is dependent on other subject. Point number 3, and the most important and your most favorite point, sir, it is expanding and evolving. Sir, what is this expanding and evolving? Sir, whenever we are conducting business as a owner, do you expect the business to be in a stagnant or business to grow? Obviously, sir, we want our business to grow. And moreover, sir, whenever an environment changes, even the way of conducting business will also change. Acceptable? We will not stick on to the same, sir. Whenever my people desire, my people's wish, whenever my people's preferences also starts changing, even we will start adopting those changes in order to attract my customers. Acceptable? Let me give a beautiful example. Sir, assuming just at some 10 years back, if at all you want to board an auto, you need to go stand on the road, you need to wave the hand, you used to call that person, Bartyanappa, Maleshwaram Gogana, he is like 50 rupees kodi meter mele, 30 rupees kodi meter mele. You used to bargain a lot. But now, sir, within a click of a button, we have got an auto, we can book it through Ola. Acceptable? Sir, suppose, sir, earlier if I want to purchase any food articles, if I am hungry, I need to personally go to hotel, I used to sit and eat. But now today, within a click of a button, you have something called as Zomato, Swiggy, Foodpanda, etc., acceptable. Sir, we never imagined that even ordering a food will become so easy. Even booking a cab is going to be becoming so easy. Sir, whenever the environment changes, even the way of people will, preferences, their taste, everything will change. Even your business activity should also change. Sir, it is due to the evolution of time. Sir, even that is nothing but whenever the trend changes, whenever the trend, even the way of conducting business will also. I gave you that one more beautiful example in economics, Nokia phones. Once upon a time, sir, if my parent wants to purchase a cell phone, they used to only prefer. But now Nokia has become Noia. Sir, taxis, auto, Ola, Uber was one best example. Even I gave one more example, pastries and cake example, if you remember. Sir, in our childhood, sir, we used to prefer cake, sir, especially that honey cake a lot. But now, sir, as we grown up, now the trend has changed, sir. Who will prefer for cake? We prefer for. Majority of the people prefers now pastries rather than preferring cake. Sir, so what are the domain? 3 important points under domain of BCK. Business is very. And sir, it is elective, or it is called as a multidisciplinary, or it is dependent on other subjects. Dependent on. It is expanding in. Arthat, whenever the trend changes, even the way of conducting business will also change. Superb. Now let me come to the beautiful point. Sir, why as a chartered accountants we need to learn BCK? Sir, what are the importance of learning BCK? Okay, let me give one beautiful example. Usually I even gave this in economics when I was doing. Now sir, assuming Shashikaran sir is a chartered accountant, I will become is down the line. Now I have got 50 clients. I have got 250 people are my clients. Now, are 50 people, my clients, are they doing same business? Sir, everybody has their own set of different business. Acceptable. As a chartered accountant, first I should understand the nature of business I am dealing with. That is preparation of accounts, might be any kind of auditing statements. First, as a chartered accountant, I should understand the difference between the businesses that my client possesses. Acceptable. Sir, not only that, I am responsible to provide true and fair justice on the financial assets what they have got. And might be in an auditing report, I need to conduct the audit in the most appropriate way, and I need to suggest them which is good and which is bad for their future performances. Acceptable. And I should also say them when we need to return the file, which laws are applicable, which rules and regulations is applicable to you, which all authorities you need to take a permission. Sir, first as a chartered accountant, I should be having a knowledge of it. Acceptable. Only if I have a knowledge, then only I can suggest it to my clients. Acceptable. Assuming Shashikaran sir is like complete bookworm, he just studied what is there in books. Okay, he went to exam, he vomited, he cleared CA, he became chartered accountant. Now, when client comes and says, I will say what is there in book. In reality, in practicality, I don't know anything. Do you think any customers will come and approach me? Obviously, they will go to some other chartered accountant who is favoring to him and moreover who can guide him. Acceptable. That is the reason, boss, as a chartered accountant, first you people should know what is business, how business operations will take care, what is the registration procedure, which all rules and regulations is applicable. Sir, for every business, the rules will not be same. Sir, let me say the mining business has got a different rules, NGO has got a different rules. Sir, might be any MNC has got a different rules. Acceptable. Sir, the law or the authority behind it will be different, and the way the operations will be carried out in the business is different, and the way I need to prepare the books of accounts and make the audit statement will be different for different business. It is not one and the same. Acceptable. So, as a chartered accountant, first I should know what is the difference of business that my client possesses, what is their legal status, and what all procedures they need to follow. Then only I can suggest them and guide them. That is the main important reason why even a chartered accountant has to learn business, commercial. If you people remember, there was a few years back, there was a, when the demonetization happened, people started uprising this chartered accountant, especially in few sectors, and even Ratan Tata came out with one beautiful words. I need MBAs to run the business. I need MBAs too. But in order to teach them how to run a business, I need CA. So that is what the power you people have got. And moreover, even Narendra Modi even specified it. My nation requires more than, let me say, some 8 lakh chartered accountants in 5 years down the line. How many? In 5 years down the line, we need 8 lakh chartered accountant. Pa, from the time of incorporation of, let me say, from the time ICA was established, in our 60 years, 65 years, 70 years, we have hardly produced 2.5 lakh to 3 lakh chartered accountant. That's it. How much? Sir, out of the 2.5 lakh, sir, from 1950 I'm speaking, by now, already some 50,000 people would have taken ticket. Hardly some 2 lakh people or 1.5 lakh chartered accountants are existing in India. But Narendra Modi said we are in need of almost 8 lakh chartered accountants in next 5 years. We should start opening printing press. We should start printing chartered accountant certificate, and we should give. That is the only option available for 8 lakh chartered accountants. Highly impossible. From 60 years, it is 2.5 lakh. In next 5 years, 8 lakh. And boss, that is what you people got at demand. Demand is very. When demand is high and supply is less, when there is excess demand in an economy and supply is less, what will happen for price? Price shoots up. That is what I've got. At least you people, what is the remuneration chartered accountant? Suppose once you complete your chartered accountant course, and if at all you are joining for any MNC, you are appointed as an internal auditor of that MNC company. What is the salary package? As a minimum package is like one of my friend recently joined one of the MNC who cleared a chartered accountant course, and even recruitment, even the ICA conducts its recruitment facilities. Sir, the least package what a person has got, 8 lakh rupee per annum. 8 lakh rupee per annum. I can say it is almost like every single some 70 minimum. That is minimum. And there is also some statutory rules that suppose if you are practicing, you cannot file a income statement or you cannot file a written statement for so and so clients. Maximum is some 50 clients or 40 clients. There is some restriction with ICA. But the availability of chartered accountant is so less that no one is caring about that restriction. Everyone is filing even more than that particular limit. See, I have even seen a chartered accountant earns, let me say, some 20,000, 30,000 a month. We have also seen a chartered accountant who earns lakhs together a month. Because only in a month itself they might earn 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs. There are. See, it is like both the extremes. You also have people who are earning hardly minimal amounts. The people who are earning like minting. It is like both the extremes. That is what I say. Once you become a chartered accountant, there is no rule that everyone will come and put the money in front of you. Because that is from where your life actually starts. Until becoming chartered accountant was one life. After successfully completing chartered accountant and then your practice, your career, that shows what you have got the stuff inside. That is what we say. Either you can make it or either you can break it. So it all depends upon you. But whenever you are taking that risk, take that bada risk. Anyhow, risk is there. Whichever field you go, the risk is obviously there. So anyhow you are taking a risk, take that big risk. And the rewards will also be big. So that is what my commerce students especially they fail to do. Go and ask your BCom student, especially now you people are in BCom. Now you people, sir, ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪಿ ಯು ಸಿ ಟರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಅಂತ ಜೀವ ಎಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್ 2 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ. SLCಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಒಂದು ಟರ್ನ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟು, ಪಿ ಯುలో ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಟರ್ನ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟು. ಇವಾಗ ನೀವು ಬೇರೆ ಬಂದು ಚಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ಕಷ್ಟ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಷ್ಟು ಪಾಸ್ಔಟ್ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜು. ಯು ಆರ್ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಲಫಿಂಗ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಟು ಅಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಸ್ ಟು ಸ್ಕೇರ್ಡ್. ವೈ ಶುಡ್ ಐ ಟೇಕ್ ಸೋ ಮಚ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಸ್ಕ್ ಇನ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಪಾ? Everyone think in such a way. Trust me, I think there is one final year student in the class. Your name, boss? Ramaya student. I think because of exam he would have been absent today. Ask him once he comes for the class. The 2 years he would have not felt the reality of my year. Once you come to this final year, you feel like was normal B, normal MCom, MBA is highly sustain in an economy, I should have done some professional course. Many people realizes once they come to final year of BCom, once they come to ಸರ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಫೈನಲ್ ಇಯರ್ ಜ್ಞಾನೋದಯ ಏನಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತೆ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಅಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪಸ್ ಫೈನಲ್ ಇಯರ್. ಸಿಂಪಲ್, ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಭಯ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ ಫುಲ್. ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕತ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬಾಯಟ್ ಹೊಡೆದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ವಾಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬಂದಿರ್ತೀರಾ. ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ. ವೆನ್ ಯು ಗೋ they will not ask you any big concepts. They will only basics. They will only go here. What are golden rules of account? What do you mean by derivatives? All basic stuff they will start asking you, and people know very well. That is, any teacher knows that very well. PUC second PUC. What you people have done? Left al ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೈಟ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೈಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಫಂಡಮೆಂಟಲ್ಸ್ ಏನೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಬಾಯ್ ಹೊಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ವಾಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಮೆಜಾರಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದೆಮ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡನ್. Even as the people, all the 50 people in class, how many really understood your PU concepts? Marks ಬೇಕು ಸರ್, ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕು. ಅಮಂಗ್ 90+ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂಥರ ಜೋಶು, ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಬೈ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಟು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. That is what majority of them have done. And even in your interviews, they know that very well. You people are damn weak in basics. That is why they will start asking questions from. ಆಗ ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ರು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂತ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅಮಾಲ್ಗಮೇಷನ್, ರಿಕನ್ಸಿಲಿಯೇಷನ್, ಆರ್ಎಸ್ ಏನೇನೋ. What is your golden rules of how many accounting standards are there? What is AST and SPE? What is intangible asset? And they will ask one more question. What do you mean by amortization? What is amortization? Depreciation of goodwill. This is ultimate answer. Who gave this answer? My God. Who is your father of accounts, by the way? No, see, who is father? Luca Pacioli. He is the father of accounts. If Luca Pacioli was alive, by listening to your words, he would have hanged for the same fan today. Depreciation is for the tangible assets. Amortization is for the intangible assets. Ashte simple answer. ಈ ರೇಂಜಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡೋದು ಆನ್ಸರ್ನ. ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಪೀಪಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ? You go for this is what will happen. That is why I said you people have opted for this beautiful course called a chartered accountant. Doubt it is difficult, but it is not impossible. It is definitely possible. And ನಮ್ಸರ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? Suppose I am doing a chartered accountant course. Sir, what happens? Suppose if any person needs to know chartered accountant, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ವಿಷಯ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ವಾ? ಪಕ್ಕದ ಮನೆ ಅಣ್ಣ 10 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ದುಡ್ಡು ಚಾರ್ಟರ್ಡ್ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಬಾಂಡ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮದ್ವೆನೇ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಣ್ಣೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಸಾವಿರ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಅಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಯು ಪೀಪಲ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಬಿಕಮ್ ಚಾರ್ಟರ್ಡ್ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್, ಯು ಗೋ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್, ಹೂಮ್ ಡು ಯು ಗೋ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಎ ಸಜೆಷನ್? ಯಾರ ಹತ್ರ ಕೇಳಿರ್ತೀರಾ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ? ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ತಾನೇ ಕೇಳಬೇಕು. ಯಾರು ಚಾರ್ಟರ್ಡ್ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದಾರೋ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆಯೋ, ಹೂ ನೋಸ್ ಅನ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್, ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಗೋ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ದೆಮ್. ಅಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟಬಲ್? Suppose, let me give one more example. If at all you want to become a very good cricket player, whom do you go and approach? Cricket coach. Acceptable? But ನಮ್ ಜನ ಕೇಳೋದು ಯಾರನ್ನ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಚಾರ್ಟರ್ಡ್ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಪಕ್ಕದ ಮನೆ ಆಂಟಿ, ಎದುರುಗಡೆ ಮನೆ ಕೂಲೆ ಮನೆ ಅಂಗಡಿ ಅಂಕಲ್ಲು, ಚಾರ್ಟರ್ಡ್ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಕಷ್ಟ ಕೊಡೋ, ಮದ್ವೆನೇ ಆಗಲ್ವಂತೆ, ಬಾಂಡ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. This is what my people take the suggestion from. From whom should they take the suggestion? They will leave the active people who has completed chartered accountant or who is doing the chartered accountant. There are many people misguides them, and I'm like wondering, leave about that. Whenever I go to my native, whenever there's grand people, especially the old age people, what are you doing? I will say, I'm like, ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ಯಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಚಾರ್ಟರ್ಡ್ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಪ್ಪ, CA ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಸೇ CA. ಅದೇ BA ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಅದಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಏನ BA ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅವ್ರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಏನು, ABCD ಉಲ್ಟಾ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟಸ್ ಆಗಿನ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ BA, ಓ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ BA ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಡೋದು CA. ಅಣ್ಣ ಅದೇ ಅಣ್ಣ, BA ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಅದೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೌ. ಸಿ ಮೆನಿ ಆಫ್ ಮೈ ಪೀಪಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್, ಹಾರ್ಡ್ಲಿ the known people who really know the value of this course truly suggest you to do it. And no doubt, yes boss, it is difficult, but it is not like impossible. Yes, it can be done. And many people out of this fear, no sir, ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ sir. First keep your mindset strong. If your mindset is strong, you can win anything and everything in this world. There is nothing like nothing is impossible, boss. If you give an attempt, everything is possible. That is how my people are. They will always misguide you, they will always mislead you, they will demotivate you. At one point of time, even you will start listening to their words, get frustrated, you feel like throwing the book. ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಹಂಗಾದ್ರೆ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಏನೂ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ ಅರ್ಥ. ಅದು ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಚಾರ್ಟರ್ಡ್ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಪಾ? CK, why it is important? In order to guide your clients. Your clients are your main source of revenue. And that is what, see, that is what I say. Usually I use this word. The chartered accountant like do legal things in a legal way. Legal things in a know what is legal, you know what is illegal. And your client will always come with the illegal point. He always wants to show the tax level less. He always wants to misguide the government. And you people also know how to misguide it in a legal way. Misguide it in a legal way. That is what you people, idiot people, after becoming chartered accountant. And you should know from whom to take and whom not to. There are many chartered accountants, I even have undergone with my student life. You need to get the attestation done for your certificate. Let me say, if you at all you want to submit for ICA, there are some chartered accountant educational institutions, they will not charge anything. Many people, many students doesn't know this fact. Some people will directly go to some chartered accountant firms, they charge 1000 rupees, 500 rupees, 300 rupees. Appa, even for one signature, I have seen it, they have charged 500, thousands together. Still is student charging, except if you charge it line. That is what has actually happens, sir. Even for your client, you will just invigilate it. Okay, whether your article students have done it properly after guiding them, is there any mistake, see to it, and you will okay. Autograph has got a value. Once your autograph is on the document, the authenticity of the document judged by or state Supreme Court, governor of state, something as state. Times even judge can also issue a note. That is what the power. Your powers are not level. Your powers are in a executive. You come. This is what the importance of this course is. That is why many people, just to get that prefix called as CA before their name, they are working hard. And your ICA is a very good rascal. You know how to screw you people. And boss, there are many, even if I want to speak about the reality sense, when I completed my BCom, majority of my friends who are doing the CA, especially after completing their at least IPCC, that is inter, what we call it as inter now, one. When they went to this campus recruitment, majority of them selected, and now they're working in Young, PricewaterhouseCoopers, many of the MNCs. Because those students who have cleared inter, have a wide scope. It's not like you are never considered as a normal graduate. You people will be given some preference because you have got some stuff inside your brain. They know this. Your CV will get more weightage with the just 2 sentences called as CA inter passed from ICA. That 4 letters ICAI has got more powers than any other institutes in commerce. Have that weightage. Suppose if anyone is looking for the law, specialization is law, I suggest for NLS, National Law School of India. That is like top now. And even it is top from many past years. It has got more value. NLS in your certificate, in your CV, that one single sentence, National Law School of India University, ICA, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Suppose CA inter cleared, CA final student, and done any specific courses from NLS, it adds more weightage to your CV. Just learn this. Don't just go with your chota mota course and all. Whenever you're opting any course, always take at the top level. Always take at the ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಜನ ಕೈ ಇಡಕ್ಕೆ ಎದುರ್ತಾರೆ, ಇದು ಕಷ್ಟ, ಇದು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಓವರ್ ದೇರ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ನೆವರ್ ಕಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯೋರ್ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದೇ ನೋ ದಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಟಫ್. When you at least go for that level and if you start competing with the other people or if you can able to complete that course, boss, it adds great value. And especially when you come to this final year, my simple suggestion, other than accounts and finance, take any comp, especially for you people or in BCom first year. First sem and second sem, you have got some options, either mathematics or CAD, something and is all are there. Take anything you want. When you come to this final year specialization, take either finance or accounts. And even though if anyone is planning to do the masters, MBA, MCom, if you wish to do it, specialize in international taxation, specialize in international finance or international accounts. Always opt for this international accounts, international finance, international tax. Accounts and finance, F&A has got a more scope. And normally people will select accounts because they feel it is easy when it comes to masters. Finance, little less people. My suggestion will be, first preference will be finance. If it is international taxation, I will say go to it. When you're choosing, kindly make sure that whichever is tougher, choose that. Never settle for easy things. Always choose for tough things. It's hard, man. That you will complete by hook or crook, for sure you will do it. Whenever you are ready to take a risk, always take a risk in. Okay, let's come back to our topic. First, did you people understood why as a chartered accountant BCK is important to you? See here, CA is a person who is responsible to portray true and fair accounting report of a. Sir, CA shall be able to conduct the audit effectively and efficiently only if they understand the difference of businesses whose account they are or auditing. CA has to view, provide opinion about every field of where it will be guided by certain rules, regulations which every organization or a field of business should be following it. And sir, just few minutes back we discussed what is this economic activity and there are still little more points to be discussed. Sir, it is called as human activity. Our day-to-day activities of life is comprising of economic and. Sir, what was the meaning of economics? Sir, all those activity which results in money or in return. This word is important. And sir, what is non-economic activity? All those activity which is done out of love, hobby, affection and even patriotism or any sentimental reasons or human engagement in emotions. Human engagements in. See here, I have given it in even more precise way. Which does not generate money or money is worth in return. It is derived by emotions, sentiment, reasons of human engagement in social, cultural, charitable, patriotic activity or non-economic activity. Remember. Yes, madam. I was about to give that example. Listen, you just asked it even before. I was about to give the same example now. Sir, let me randomly start giving you examples. You people tell me whether it is economic or non-economic. Now you people got to know the difference between economic and non-economic, right? Sir, if I do any work with the intention of earning money or money is worth, that is called as economic. Suppose if I have an intention of not taking money, if I am doing out of love, hobby, affection, patriotism or a charity purpose, that is okay. Your mother cooking for you at home. The same mother has got a hotel, she is cooking the same food at hotel. You are teaching for your brother in his studies. Okay. Now Shashikiran sir teaching for you people. Okay, assuming Advait people recognized my effort and they are doing one Sanmana for me, they are putting one shawl, they are putting one topi and they are giving one fruits bouquet and they are also giving me some 5,000 rupees of cash prize. Think and answer. think and answer. Cash prize is also given of 5,000 along with all that facilitation and all. Okay, listen. Suppose you people scored a very good marks in your BCom or let me say PUC. After your second PUC result, they got to know that you are in top 10 in Karnataka state. Okay, they called you for your college. They are doing all that facilitation and also they are giving bouquet and also cash prize. Same situation. One facilitation for Shashi Kiran sir. Second facilitation is for student who has scored a good marks. Economic or non-economic activity. Cash prize is also given. Hmm? See the board. See the board first. Sir, any scholarship received, any cash prize received as a student, that is a non-economic. When Shashi Kiran sir received the same, in return for the services what I have done, that is in return, it is attracting a money. Same one. Soldier safeguarding the borders of out he is doing out of a patriotism, he is doing out of a love, still he is getting a salary every month and acceptable. In return for doing that work he is getting a salary acceptable. What did I say? Suppose if at all you are doing that work and was didn't had an intention to receive a rewards, but still if you receive a reward, if it attracts money, if it attracts, then it becomes money or money's worth is attached. If money is attached, then it becomes. But your scholarship thing, it is a out of love, out of affection, out of achievement, they are giving it. Then you didn't expected it, acceptable. But Shashi Kiran sir is working here, he is teaching for you, getting my salary over and above my salary. If I get anything extra, that is also active, acceptable. Of love, out of affection, out of hobby. If any monetary reward is attached to the work, if monetary reward is attached to the, it becomes economic activity. It becomes. Remember, there are two important points here. That in return is important. Just look the condition of in return. Soldier safeguarding the borders of a nation. Sir is appointed for that specific purpose and he is getting a salary every month for that. Acceptable. It is a economic activity. It is a. Remember, not only money, even money is worth. Even money is. Let me give one more confusing example for you. Sir, suppose, sir, near my home there is one Sai Baba temple, sir. I went there, I volunteered over there, sir, for 3 hours. End of the day, they gave me one box full of puliyogre, sir. Box full of money or money is worth. Puliyogre is economic or non-economic. It is not a money's worth. First of all, you didn't expected anything in return. Acceptable. But still they are giving you prasada. That prasada is not considered as money's worth. It is a non-economic activity. Acceptable. Suppose, assuming Shashi Kiran sir asked you to review some MCQ question. I have got some 1000 MCQ questions. Kindly check the spelling mistakes. Kindly see whether alignment is proper or not. Kindly see to it. Is there any errors in my sentence formation? You are reviewing my book. You are reviewing my economic or non-economic. If Shashi Kiran sir, after doing that work out of love, affection, he gave you some 1000 rupee, keep it. You have done some hard work. Economic activity. If it attaches with money or money is worth in return, even though if you didn't had an intention, if you receive it, if you, it becomes. Radio people understood. Remember, Every non-economic activity has an economic dimension. Every non-economic activity has a. Sir, what is that economic dimension? Time, money and resources. Time, money and. Sir, assuming, sir, there is a strike going on in my college. Why is that strike going on? Let me say some student protest is going on. I am holding the placards. Sir, we are protesting and going. Pa, the same placard, the same time, what you people are doing for non-economic activity, that could have been used for economic activity. That is what I said. Every non-economic activity has got a economic dimension. That economic dimension is time, money and. Did you people understood? And one more important point. Money and money's worth should be equal. It should be. Did you people understood? Now, let me speak about this characteristics of monetary policy, or let me say this characteristics of economic activity. Characteristics of. Listen to me carefully for the next 5-10 minutes. Sir, the point number one is income generative. Point number one is, sir, every economic activity will be having an intention of getting an income or a returns acceptable. Sir, either in terms of money or either in terms of money's worth acceptable. Just to 1 hour back, sir, when I started explaining this chapter 1, income represents dash. Income represents acceptable. Sir, my income, whatever that my economic activities are there, my very intention of conducting an economic activity is to generate income, and my income is going to represent. Superb. Remember, there are two types of income. How many types of income? Sir, first one is called as earned income. Second one is called as capital or property income. Sir, what is this earned income? By putting my effort, by putting my skill and talent, if I generate a money, that is called as earned income. Suppose, sir, I had a property. I have given it. I had some money. I gave it loan for Aditya. I am getting interest. Sir, by letting out a property or a money, by letting out a money, if I generate any income, that is called as capital income. By putting an effort, by skill and talent, and if I receive any money, that is called as. So income can be generated in two different ways, either earned income or either capital or property income. Acceptable? Sir, kindly do remember this. Income generating, sir, two types of income can be generated, earned income or capital or property income. Sir, every economic activity is income generating. Every economic activity is. Sir, that was point number one, income generative. Now, point number two is production. Point number two is, what do you mean by production? Already in economics, we have learned this. Chapter number 4, or sorry, chapter number 3, theory of production. What do you mean by production? Superb. Production is the process of adding utility to a subject matter. Sir, my economic activity will lead to a production. Economic activity will lead to a production. Superb. Remember, sir, every economic activity, my main intention is income generating. Every economic activity will lead to a production. And moreover, sir, my production represents supply side of economy. Production represents. Remember, production represents dash side of economy. And moreover, sir, we know that production is the process of adding utility to the subject matter to satisfy. And without the help of a manpower, productive resources cannot be converted from input into. See here, sir, without the use of manpower, a productive resources, that is input, cannot be converted into output. It does not always means manufacturing of goods and services. Production is the process of adding utility to the subject matter to make it more useful to satisfy. Same to same thing we studied in economics. Acceptable? Remember, sir, characteristics of economic activity. Point number one, income generative. Income represents purchasing capacity. Sir, point number two, production. Production represents supply side of economy. Production represents. Superb. Next, point number three is consumption, sir. My consumption represents demand side of economy. Consumption represents. Sir, only if my people demand, we will produce it. Acceptable. Sir, that is nothing but production takes place because of. Sir, goods and services are purchased by spending incomes. Acceptable. Sir, as a household, I receive an income, sir. Out of that income, I will spend to purchase goods and services which will satisfy my one wants. Acceptable. Sir, my production represents dash side of economy. Supply side of economy. Consumption represents dash side of economy. Income represents dash. Sir, my income can be earned in two different ways. That is earned income and that is what my BCK says. But in terms of economics terminology, sir, we have already seen it. Rewards for factors of production is called as a income. Land expects. Labor expects. Capital expects. Organization expects. Profit, sir. This is in terms of economics, but we are learning in terms of BCK. So, according to BCK, income represents purchasing capacity and income can be earned in two different ways. Earned income and capital income. So that was the very first point of a characteristics of economic activity. Point number two is production. Sir, production is the process of adding utility to the subject matter to satisfy human wants. Without human efforts, input cannot be converted into. And production represents supply side of economy. And the third point was consumption. Sir, because of production, consumption takes place. My customers are going to spend income in order to purchase goods and services. And my consumption is going to represent. And point number four, circular flow of and CM. Already I explained this when I was doing theory of production. That is factors of production, that is capital, under capital, formation of capital. You can explain me the CMU concept. Already done it in economics. Okay. 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 Anyone else who can say it in a flow? I know that you saw it and you started saying it very beautifully. Ah, madam. Yes, ma'am. You can explain in your words. Yeah. Still some technical point. I gave this example. Shashi Kiran sir has a dash factory. Furniture manufacturing. Shashi Kiran sir and furniture manufacturing, natural love and affection. Every topic, every example, same. Now, sir, my employees of an organization are also customers of other industry. Acceptable. Other industries employees are also customers of my industry. Acceptable. Now sir, Shashi Kiran sir is producing furnitures. Now people are working in my organization. Now I am making a profit. I will pay salary to my employees. Acceptable. My people, that is my employees of an organization, when they get a salary, they will spend on those goods and services which will satisfy their human wants. Acceptable. My question, will they spend the entire money? They will create some small savings. Acceptable. Sir, that is what is called as C, creation of savings. That is all unspent income comprises savings. That is condition of C. Sir, the savings are created by whom? Savings are created by household. Now, when you people are creating, household people, you people, when you create a savings, don't you think you will keep it in your bank account? If you hold it in your hand, you know that very well, you have a very good mindset, you will spend it off. So for a safety side, where you will keep? Sir, that is now my banks and financial institutions, they will mobilize those savings. They will. See here, second one, all savings is mobilized by banks, financial institutions and sir, this is called as mobilization. M. Sir, okay, they collected all your savings. Will they keep it idle? They will utilize it. Acceptable. Sir, either by way of giving loans and advances for government, corporates. Acceptable. So that is called the last one, utilization. Utilization is done from governments and corporates and those private industries. They will borrow loan in order to produce goods and services. Again, they were putting money for production. Again, production takes place. Again, they get a profit. Again, they pay salary. Again, out of salary, my household people create small savings. Those small savings is mobilized by bank. Again, these banks will give loans. This is how you people's savings, that is a household savings, is converted into investment. Is converted into. See here, sir, due to this circular flow, CMU, creation, mobilization and utilization, sir, the savings of the household is converted into business and government. Sir, this is how the entire banking system works. The entire stock market works. This is how the entire financial institutions are working. Sir, they know that very well. You people will spend money. Sir, why are you spending, sir? You want to satisfy your wants. So you will spend it on purchasing goods and services. They also know that you will not spend the entire money. You will also create some savings. Now those savings is the most important part in my actions. Sir, because of you saved it, I am taking a loan from. People don't save it, how will I get a funds to invest? Right? I no doubt I am selling goods and services, I am also making profit. Even I have got an expenditure, even I need to purchase raw material, electricity bill, government taxes, everything I am doing it. Even still I am making some profit out of it. But still, in order to grow the business, I need huge funds, right? Banks. From where do banks get? From households. Where do you people get? By working in an organization. Sir, this money is getting circulated. See, this is called as gross domestic savings in terms of an economics, that is with the terms of macro environment. There is something called as GDS. This is called as gross domestic savings. Out of the GDP, what my nation has earned, how many percentage my people have saved? How many percentage my people have? In India, it is usually 30 to 35 percentage of whatever GDP we have got. Out of it, after consuming goods and services, by purchasing, by giving money, remaining small chota savings, out of my GDP, it is 32 to 35 percentage. It is actually low. It is actually hardly 32 to 35 percentage is created as savings. Another 70% out, it is still I need funds for investment. Acceptable. How the mechanism works. Did you people understood? My economic activity, circular flow of. There are totally 4 points we have discussed now under the features of economic activity. What was point number 1? Income. Income represents dash. Sir, income represents purchasing capacity. Point number 2 was production. Production represents dash. Supply side of a economy. Sir, point number 3 is consumption. Sir, why does consumption happens? Because of production. Production takes place because of consumption. Sir, why are we producing goods and services? Because customers are demanding more and more. That is why we are producing more. Acceptable. Production takes place because of consumption. People, by spending the money, they will consume goods and services. My consumption represents. Remember these 3 points important. Income represents purchasing capacity. Production represents supply side of economy. Consumption represents. And the fourth point is circular flow of. Did you people understood? Any doubts till now what we have done? Okay. I've scrolled up. Cash or kind is nothing but money or money worth. Money or kind is nothing but that shares example which I gave. Bharat has supplied me raw material. Instead of giving you in form of a cash 1 lakh rupee, I am giving him shares. That is kind. Cash or kind. You understood? Okay, let's move on. Next is the most important topic. That is the reason I am asking. Now, sir, we get to know we need to indulge ourselves in an economic activity to generate income. Acceptable? Now, sir, we also know that my business activity's main intention is making a profit. Acceptable? If at all they need to make a profit, should they indulge in economic activity or non-economic activity? Sir, even the heading is same. Business as a. There are 3 perspectives. How many perspectives? Business as an economic activity, there are 3 perspectives. First one is called as broader perspective. First one is called as. Second one is called as medium perspective. Second one is called as. Third one is called as narrow perspective. Third one is called as. Sir, business as an economic activity has got 3 perspectives. Broader perspective, medium perspective and narrow perspective. Sir, first I will explain only broader perspective. This is wide. As the name itself says, broader. Sir, complete broader perspective, kindly do understand it. Now, sir, every business is an economic activity. Acceptable? Sir, this economic activity can be either production, consumption, distribution or exchange. Acceptable? Sir, these production, consumption, distribution, exchange, whatever they are indulging, they might be in industry or they might be with a trade activity or they might be in a commerce. Now, sir, we already understood what is this commerce. Sir, all ancillaries to trade is called as commerce. Sir, we also understood what is trade. Buying and selling of goods and services is called as. Now, my question for you people, what do you mean by industry and what do you mean by firm? Difference between firm and industry. Sir, firms form an industry. Okay, I need a specific answer. Still, technical points are missing here. Superb. 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 Sir, an individual organization is called as a firm. A group of firms with a similar activity. A group of firms with a is called as an industry. Sir, what is it? For example, Advait Learning. Sir, MES College. Sir, Sheshadripuram College. Sir, we people as an individual, we are called as a firm. Acceptable? Sir, we people put together, we comprise education industry. Acceptable? Can I say MES College, SLV Hotel, and let me say Iron and Steel Works put together is an industry? Sir, a firm is an individual unit, sir. An individual organization is called as a firm and a group of firms with a dash activity. Similar activity or a same activity is called as a. Did you people understood? Now, sir, whatever this production, consumption, distribution, exchange, either I might be operating at an industry level or at a trade level or at a. Sir, either I can be a private player or a. That is as a government organization or a Private organization. Okay, superb, sir. Next, sir, my size of operation can be MSME, micro, small, or medium. Sir, my organization can be either domestic organization or multinational organization. And sir, my organization's area of operation, organizations can be either local, national, or whatever business I am conducting, or either I might conduct only in a local region, or either I might be in a national region, or I might be in a international region. Acceptable? Sir, this is called as a broader perspective. Sir, every business is an economic activity comprising of production, consumption, distribution, exchange, which includes industry, trade, and commerce. Sir, these industry, trade, and commerce can be either private or. And next, sir, my size of business can be either micro, small, or medium enterprises. And either I might be a domestic operator or a multinational operator, and my area of operation can be either local business, national business, or. Sir, this is what we call it as a broader perspective. This is what we call it as a. I have given it in a form of a chart for your better understanding. If you see your institute material, the same information is given in a paragraph wise. It is only theory. You will not understand anything by reading that theory. So, for your simplification, I have given it in a form of simple industry, trade, commerce. Sir, this industry, trade, commerce can be either private or public. And the size of operation can be micro, small, or medium enterprises, and they can be domestic or multinational. And sir, the area of operation can be either local, national, or international. Sir, this is business as a dash perspective. Any doubts in broader perspective? Shall I continue? Superb. Now, sir, the second is dash perspective, medium perspective. There are three perspectives, sir: broader, medium, and narrow. Sir, the second one is simple, sir. Difference between firm and industry is medium perspective. Sir, an individual unit is called as a firm. A group of firms with a similar activity is called as a. Did you people understood? Okay, now, sir, the third one is a narrow perspective. Third one is a. I will make a statement. Let me see whether you people understood or not. If you understood, you need to explain me what exactly is a concept. Now, sir, every business is a usual occupation of one's who is actively operating. If any isolated transaction, even though if it is resulting in income, let me repeat it once again, listen to this carefully. Every business is a usual occupation. If any isolated transaction, if it is resulting in income, it is not a business income. It is not a. Did you people understood? The people who understood can explain me this. Just tell me, madam. Shiva Shankari. Is a capital revenue, it cannot be a business. Can you give any random example? Any business, any random example. Shashikiran sir business only. Furniture manufacturing. Okay, sir, whenever I purchase machinery, equipments, and sewing machine, that is a capital equipment. So that is not a business income. Wrong. Yeah, tell me, madam. Radhika Agarwal. Okay. You're too close to the answer, but you missed it one point. What she's saying, sir, you are a furniture industry. Every single day you sell furnitures. That is your usual occupation. Whatever income you make by selling furniture is your income, sir. Suppose used furniture, if at all you are selling it, that is not your usual occupation. That is not business income. Others, suddenly your voice went off. Selling at a one single shot is not a business income. At a one single go. I'm not continuing that. I had got some pencils which was stock in my organization. After manufacturing, okay. You are also too close to the answer. Yes, madam. Okay. Okay. Superb answer. Listen, what you said is, sir, you are a furniture manufacturing. You are selling furniture. Suppose your friend came. Your friend is asking to sell that second-hand furniture on behalf of him to you. Now you are doing it for one single time. That is not your usual business. Suppose if you get some commission out of it, that is your income, but is not that is not your business income. Superb. Let me give you one more beautiful example what you people can relate to. Assuming Shashi Kiran sir is a bat manufacturer. Shashi Kiran sir is a same furniture industry only. I've changed my product. Instead of let me say benches, all that sofas and all, now I'm a bat manufacturer. Cricket bat, not mosquito bat. Which bat? Cricket bat, not mosquito bat. Now I'm a cricket bat manufacturer. Virat Kohli is my regular customer. Who is my regular customer? Virat Kohli is my regular customer. Unlike the same, now before going to Dubai, or let me say before playing the IPL matches, he came and he purchased a he purchased a bat. Now after purchasing a bat, he gave me some 20 free IPL tickets. 20 free. Please don't consider 2020 corona situation. Assume if IPL was conducted in India, in Chinnaswamy Stadium, in Bangalore, I have got a free 20 IPL tickets. Now Shashi Kiran sir is such a kind of a person. I don't want to waste a time by going to the stadium and all. Why to waste some 4-5 hours of time? I can produce even more bats in my organization. So what I did, I sold that IPL ticket. I sold that IPL tickets and I made a money. What was my usual transaction? Selling cricket bats is my usual transaction. Acceptable. Now what is my isolated transaction which is not related to my business? Selling IPL tickets. Is selling IPL tickets is my business? Selling cricket bat is my, that is a primary work. That is my usual occupation. Suppose due to any isolated transaction, if I generate income, that is not a business income. That is not a. Deepak has given an example, sir, sale of old newspapers. Every single day, sir, to my factory, a person is coming and supplying the newspaper. There is one big bundle of newspapers which is an entire room has filled. Now I'm selling all those newspapers for that kachrawala. That is my isolated transaction. That is not my usual work of operations. Acceptable. Did you people understood? Remember, any income generated because of your usual occupation, because of your, sir, that is called as a business income. If any isolated transaction, even though if it is resulting in income, that is not a business income. Did you people understood? Let me ask one beautiful question. This was your examination question actually. Did you people understood firm and industry? Did you people understood as a broader perspective, business as an economic activity in a broader perspective, medium perspective and narrow perspective? Did you people understood? Okay, one question. Is agriculture is an industry? Does agriculture comprises industry? Think and answer. And I want even explanation for your answers. If it is yes, why it is yes? If it is no, why it is no? Is agriculture an industry? Explanation is not proper, man. Anyone else? Someone was answering. See, I'm not speaking in terms of sectoral wise, primary, secondary, tertiary sector. In general, does agriculture comprise an industry or not? Yes, madam, continue. Like complementary. Agriculture and other industries are complementary. Example. Are like complement. Meaning use it together. Now suppose paddy. Suppose if paddy and industry. Suppose if I want to consume wheat, what am I consuming together with? Sir, remove extraction of that layer, unwanted layer, we need an industry, sir. Listen, anyone else? Sir, agriculture is dependent on nature. Sir, it is on nature's mercy, so we cannot consider it as an industry. Culture is important, sir. See, my question is agriculture comprising an industry or not? You understood what is the meaning of industry and you understood what is the meaning of firm. Firm means one individual organization. Industry is a group of organization with a similar activity. Acceptable. Wait, Deepak has texted me. Sir, I have another example. Sir, agriculture is not an industry because mainly dependent on nature and government of India has given major exemption to the sector like less interest on no taxes on agricultural land on produced. My question is not to that deep extent. It's pretty simple. What do you mean by firm, pa? Organization. What do you mean by industry? A group of firms with a similar. Have you do you ever call tomato industry, brinjal industry, drumstick industry, onion industry? Call it agricultural industries. Call it. Sir, it does not come as industry, but you have one explanation there. If any agricultural output is used as a key raw material ingredient, let me repeat it once again. Listen to this carefully. If any agricultural output is used as a key raw material ingredient and processed it. What do you mean by processing? Changing from one form to another form. And what do you mean by key raw material ingredient? That is the basic raw material. Best example, sugar. Sir, without sugar cane, can you produce sugar or jaggery? Sir, edible oil seeds. Without edible oil seeds, can you get a edible oil? Sir, best example is the sugar, edible oils. Sir, without these raw material, or take it as example of coffee. Take an example of tea. Sir, without coffee seeds, can you get this coffee powder? Without tea leaf, will you get this tea powder? Without the raw rubber, can you convert it to any fine shape of rubber materials? Sir, this is what? If any industry is taking an agricultural output as a key raw material, what do you mean by key raw material? That is the basic raw material for production. If it is a key raw material and if they are processing, what do you mean by processing? Changing from one form to. There are two important points. Sir, it should be key raw material and it has to be processed from one form to. Then it is called as industry. We call it as agro-based industry. We call it as industry. But in general, is agriculture an industry? Agriculture is not a industry, but if any agricultural output is used as a dashed raw material and then we call it as, did you people understood? Any doubts? Business as an economic activity. There are got a three perspective: broader perspective, medium perspective, and sir, is agriculture an industry? But if any agricultural output is used as a raw material ingredient and processed it, then it is called as a. Let me give few examples. You tell me whether it is agro-based industries or not. Sir, take an example. Cotton, sir, yogurt, curd, milk product, dairy products, curd, ghee, cheese, butter. But are they directly getting butter from milk? Are they directly getting ghee from cow? It is processed, changed from one form to another form. So it can be considered as agro-based, acceptable. Now you could have observed, sir, they are packing this eggs and they are selling in the big marts. Let me say Big Bazaar, Mega Mart. You will get that 6 eggs in one single packet, acceptable. Selling of eggs. Not an agro-based, because the same egg, it is offered there as a sales. They are not processed. They are not. Remember, both the conditions should be satisfied. It should be the key raw material and it has to be. Did you people understood? Any doubts till now?